It's Mahia May.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Danny Mejia, aka Mejia Made. Today I'm back with another sample flip challenge. I'm gonna be going to the website sampleit.io to find a sample, and the only rule for this challenge is I get 10 chances to find a sample. If I find heat, it's gonna make it easy for me. If not, I'm gonna have to work with it. So let's get right into it. Okay, y'all, so I ended up going through all 10 samples. I ended up deciding on the first sample I came across, which is called Vanity by the Jimmy Heath Quintet. Let's go back into the DAW and take a listen. Alright, y'all, so that was a sample. I flipped it, I made a beat. Let's go ahead and listen to it. Alright, y'all, so that was the beat right there. A little bit of like that modern boom bap feel. So let's go ahead and get started and break down this beat. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is breaking down the drums. I'm going to go ahead and play them solo. Let's see how they sound like. Okay, so for the drums, the first thing we have is the kick. This is what it sounds like solo. Next up, we have the snare. And then we got the hi-hats. So as you guys can tell, both the kick and the snare are quantized to the grid, but when I just play the drum solo, there's still a little bit of that swing to it. And that swing actually comes from the hi-hats. So let's dive a little deeper into the hi-hats and see where that swing is coming from. So when I start to zoom in, you guys can see that a lot of the hi-hats aren't directly locked into the grid. That's where we get a lot of that swing from. And for all you FL users, I'm gonna show y'all a quick pro tip on how you guys can use your keyboard to act as a drum pad. So first off, you go to options, go to MIDI settings, and right down here where it says Omni Preview, if you go ahead and change that to 1, now you guys can start using your keyboard as a drum pad. So that's a quick pro tip for all you guys who want to get that authentic boom bap feel. Next up, as a part of the hats, is this open hat over here. And you guys can tell too, the open hat is not quantized. So once again, here are the drums so you guys can hear that swing I'm talking about. Alright, so next up, the most important part of the sample flip challenge, of course, is the sample itself. So these are the chops I came up with. Let's go ahead and take a listen to them. Okay, so that was the chop right there, and as a lot of you guys can tell from the title, the whole Dilla Technique, is it the chops itself I'm talking about? Actually, no, it's not the chops itself. What I am going to break down for you guys, and it's a pro tip, you know, obviously the legend Dilla is one of the producers that use this technique. So let's go ahead and deep dive a little bit more into it so you guys can hear what I'm talking about. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and take out all the effects. I'm gonna go ahead and pan the sample back into mono. The only thing I'm not gonna change are these EQ settings. And then for the Dilla technique, let's go ahead and pan this sample back into mono. So for all my headphone users, you guys have a better example of what I'm talking about. When you listen to only what's on the left side, you'll hear that that's where the horn is laid out. When you listen to what's on the right side, that's where the guitar is laid out, which is what I ended up flipping. I'm gonna go ahead and start turning on these settings one by one. I'm gonna pan the sample back only into the right channel, and then we're gonna start to get a better understanding what the end result ended up sounding like. First off, let's pan it to the right, and we should mainly hear only the guitar. So you guys can tell a lot of that horn got taken away. Obviously, there's still some in there, but for the most part, you can better hear the guitar. Okay, so next up, because we're only able to hear what's on the right side, I wanted to make it mono again. What I ended up doing to get that effect is use this fruity stereo shaper. Let's go ahead and turn it back on so we can hear what it's doing. So isn't that such a big difference? Now the horn is still in there, but we're getting mainly the guitar chops, which is exactly what I was going for. And that's what I mean when I say the Dilla technique. It is such an amazing technique in that it's almost like you're taking away the stems from the horn and now you're only able to hear the guitar. So if you guys can just imagine, Dilla was doing this back in the 90s, early 2000s. So he was so ahead of his time, which is what makes him so legendary. So really quickly, you guys, if you have made it this far into the video, I want you to please leave a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what you think of the Dilla technique. Have you used it before? Where else have you heard it? Let me know. Next up in the chain, what I added is this compressor. And then next up, that fruity stereo shaper, we brought it back into mono, but now I want to widen the sound up just a little bit more. So what I added is this fruity chorus. Let's hear what it's doing. Okay, next up, obviously is missing that bottom end. I'm gonna go ahead and solo the bass line. Let's listen to what it sounds like. So you guys can tell it's super simple. I just really wanted those drums, that sample to stand out. We really just needed that low end to tie everything together. So for the VST for the bass line, I use this Trident VST by Korg, and I use the dark R&B bass preset. Next up, it's not a Mejia made beat if I don't have some vocal chops from Arcade. So let's go ahead and play those. So the next thing I added are these strings. I wanted to just beef up the sample chops a little bit more. This is what they sound like. The VST I use for the strings is BBC Symphony Orchestra by Spitfire Audio. Next thing I added are these Rhodes just to add a little bit more on top of that sample. Let's listen to what they sound like. The I use for this plugin is of course by Contact. It's the Scarby Mark 1 preset. Give the Rhodes a little bit more of that vintage feel, and to have it fit more sonically with the sample, I ended up throwing on this RC20 retro color. Next thing I added is the VST Pancake 2 to make the Rhodes pan left and right. Next up is this little lead synth right here. The VST I used is Purity, and the preset is Simple Sign. Another thing I added are these bells right here. Again, I use the Symphony Orchestra VST for this sound, and it's the Celeste preset. One of the effects I added to the bells, just to give it again that vintage feel, is this tape Mellowfy plugin by Arturia. And then one of the final things I added, just to kind of act as a transition sound, is this chop that I found in the sample. So for this chop, to get that delay effect, I ended up using this H delay by Waves. These are the settings for it. I just ended up skimming through the preset, and this is one of the ones that I found. So that was the breakdown. Let's go ahead and just listen to the beat one more time. All right, y'all, and that was it for this week's sample flip challenge. If y'all gained any type of insight from this video, please leave a comment, subscribe. It's really going to help the channel grow. And one more thing, because of the times we're in, y'all got to remember what Tupac said: it wouldn't be LA without Mexicans. So much love to everybody. Peace.